Yes. So let's see what we have here. Okay, we are live. Yes, everyone, we are live, and we have this wonderful show today. I know all of you have been waiting to listen to this particular Q&A because we're going to put Mr. Jason Bates to some serious ropes and work today. Woo! Everyone has to be heard. Take your time. There's no time limit here. We're going to have a great time. But I do want to announce that on tomorrow, there's going to be a great time. Pace is determined for all of those who do not have a deal. Okay. Pace is determined to get you a deal. Get your deal done in 7 days. And he's very serious. We're talking about 13,000 people that are going to be on this and working together cohesively to make sure that you get your first deal within 7 days. And the man is very serious. So we're all serious. So in the chat, I'm going to put a link to register for that webinar. That's going to be tomorrow. And you have I'll have all the times in that link for you. Everyone, how are we doing? We feeling good today?
Phenomenal.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Good. Now understand this. I'm going to be in the background and I will be taking notes. Okay. I'm learning real estate from all of you pros. So please speak slowly and let me learn because you guys are the experts. I'm just learning. Okay. Have a great time. Have a great time.
Appreciate all you. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. So real quick, my name is Jason Bates. I am a Sub-2 Gator student, as well as a top tier certified TC. I am the CEO and co-founder of Venture Vibes Fund, where we raise private capital for RV parks and other vacation places. And I'm also co-owner for Finish Line TC Services. But you guys aren't here to hear about me. You guys are here to hear about these wonderful people. And what's really cool is, like we mentioned at the very beginning, I'm going to be stretched. This is the first time I'm going to be covering 2 transactions at the same time. But these guys are all goal-focused, oriented individuals who love closing deals. So this will be a great conversation. So what I'd like to start off with, this is one of my favorite questions to start off with, is what were you doing before you entered real estate or joined Sub-2? And I like to start with the ladies because my mom's probably watching. If I don't let ladies go first, I'm going to hear about it.
Julie, you want to go first?
Sure. So Julie Carani here. Good to chat with everyone. I come from travel and hospitality. So I have run a travel company for the past almost 20 years, planning large corporate groups, typically on international trips. Lots of moving parts, lots of people traveling at the same time, a lot of detail. And a lot of work.
I can see that translating to being able to juggle a real estate portfolio.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of commonalities for sure. Have to integrate quite a bit, and a lot of it is just visionary. So those are my 2.
I love it. Alexa, what about you? What were you doing before Sub-2 and or real estate?
So I've actually been in real estate for 12 years. So I started right out of college. I got my real estate license. I actually bought my first house when I was 19. Learned a lot from that. Then got my license. Was a renting agent and a sales agent. And then opened my own brokerage. Sold that when I turned 30, and then just went straight investing. I've been investing for 4 years now. I joined Sub-2 in 2022. And I am a general contractor, and I flip, I think, in the last 24 months, I think I've done 52 flips. And I take those funds, and then I go and I buy and holds. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Very smart. I like that. Bergen, what about you?
Yeah, the last 8 years. So I started doing real estate full time last year, but prior to that, I was in private equity for 8 years. And before that, I was a quantitative trader for 12 years at the Chicago Board of Trade. So yeah, my background is really in finance mostly, but started pursuing real estate full time about a year ago.
Awesome. Todd, what about you, my friend?
I'm fairly new. Real estate was a big fear for many years. I stayed away from it. I got into it, joined Sub-2 about a year ago, and then I just did my first deal back in May. So before this, I was an electrician for many years, and I quit doing that about 2 years ago and started selling drones.
That's an interesting transition. That'd be a fun story to hear about at a later time. I like that.
Yeah.
So Todd, what made you decide to join the community?
I got a friend named Michael Hayes that a childhood friend I've known for a long time. I saw that he was doing it, and I jumped on it once I realized that sub 2 was the real deal. I've seen a lot of these things. I'm a very skeptical person. I saw Pace, and I'll be honest, I thought Pace was just a very good talker, smooth talker, but full of it. When I first saw him, I was like, nah, that's another full of it one, but he's good. I thought he was good. So, but once I saw my buddy Michael doing it, I jumped. I was like, I got to do this. I've always been scared of real estate, but I know it's a good vehicle. I do stocks and investing, lost a lot of money in that, and decided that this should be the route I need to go, and I need to get over this fear.
Nice. I like that. I got into real estate with the same thing. I looked at my 401k. I'm like, nah, that's not going to be enough. So I could definitely feel you there.
Yeah.
Julie, what about you? What made you decide to join the community?
Yeah, it's sort of the same. My husband is, he does very well. And every year we're stocking money away, and we've been putting it in the stock market. And, with the ups and downs, we're looking for harder assets. So that's how I became interested. Have been, listening and poking around to different masterminds, have some friends in other masterminds, and was considering joining another until I reached out to Ria, who's a longtime friend of mine. And she's like, no, you have to join sub 2. Everything is there that you need. You will not need anything more. So, she twisted my arm a little bit and got me involved. And I immediately started drinking from the fire hose and, taking it all in.
And that's a great point. I noticed that the people that are really successful in sub 2, whether it's their first deal or their 100th deal, is they've taken action. So hats off to you for that. And I'm sure all of you guys have a similar story. I've taken action, or you wouldn't be sitting on this call right now. So I appreciate that. Alexa, what about you?
So I actually got into sub 2 through my friend Justin Tumanowski. He lives one town over from me. So we knew each other in our local market. He had mentioned it to me, and then I kind of did some due diligence. And so then I jumped in. And so I've been buying a lot of deals off of sub 2 people, and then I'll flip them or I'll buy and hold them. And then yesterday I actually just bought my primary residence as a sub 2. So that was pretty cool. It was my first sub 2 transaction. Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I like that. And Justin is a great guy, and he's doing a lot of stuff for the community. A real go-giver, and definitely giving back. I like that about him.
Yep.
Morgan, what about you, my friend?
Yeah, I joined it for 2 reasons. The first was out of necessity. So after leaving my full-time job, I realized it's very hard to get loans with no income. So really just I was looking for communities where I can learn how to creatively finance deals. And the second reason was really, I landed on a couple of communities, but I think with Pace, I was really kind of looking for a family and a community because, I come from a blue collar Chicago South Side family who they're not really that supportive of what I'm doing. So I was looking to surround myself with people who were sort of like-minded and I guess crazy about real estate. So Pace's community fit the bill.
Yeah, and it's definitely crazy in a good way, because if it's considered crazy to acquire assets and make money, then I'll sign up for crazy all day long. So just to let everybody know, we've got 2 transactions here. So Mergam, Alexa, and Julie all have 1 transaction, and Todd has another. So Mergam, Julie, and Alexa, tell us a little bit how you found your guys' deal.
Yeah, so I can start there. So my mom lives up in Dover, Vermont, and she goes walking every morning, and she kept walking by this hotel, and she said, "Oh, you should buy this." And I said, "Mom, I don't want to buy a hotel. That's like buying a business." And she's like, "But look at it from the real estate perspective, location. And so I said, okay. So then I went up there, I looked at it, and I realized that location itself, it's irreplaceable. I mean, it's one of the best locations up there, in my opinion. So that's how we kind of found the deal. And it was a little bit of a tough deal to get to the finish line, just because we would put in offers, get bid out, and then it was a long process, but that is how we found it. My mom, she found it for us.
I love that. Moms know what's best for us, right? So
exactly.
It sounds like it worked out. So you guys turned it into a boutique hotel. Is that what you guys did? Nice.
Yes.
I was just in Puerto Rico about a month ago at a real estate event with Jerry Norton, and boutique hotels are really big in Puerto Rico, and there's a lot of tax advantages for investors who build those there because they've been getting hit really hard in the tourist industry. They don't have enough hotels, so investors that come in and build boutique hotels are really doing well down there. So might be something to think about now that you guys got that experience under your belt.
Yeah, for sure.
Todd, how'd you find your deal?
Mine was dropped in my lap by some friends in Colorado. So they knew I was in sub 2. They know I've been struggling with it for the last year, and they would drop things in my lap every so often. Hey, we got this property. You think you can sell it, or you think you can find a buyer for it? And so they kept doing that. They've thrown about 4 or 5 things my way, and nothing worked out. But then this one came along, and I comped the house, found the ARV, and was like, this is definitely a deal. So I jumped on it.
So go into a little bit of detail about that deal. So what was it? How was it structured? What was your exit strategy? That kind of thing.
Okay, it's a wholesale deal. It's my actually very first one. And when it got dropped in my lap, I actually had no plan because I wasn't expecting it. So so a wholesale deal is I think it was a 4-2 house. The guy living in it was bad off. Found out he was addicted to methamphetamine, and he was tearing up the house, tearing up his stuff. That's why his friends called, said, we need to get him out of there. He's been in the house living there for like a year with no power, no water. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we decided they wanted to get him out and or try to help him out. So that's what we did. We got him under contract for 140, and then we had to talk him down to 135 because of the damage to the house. There was a lot of there was foundation damage to along with all the stuff that he caused. So. And then the exit strategy was I just I flipped it over to my friend Michael that got me into sub 2. He wanted a fix and flip. So when I told him, hey, I got this house, do you know anybody that might be interested? And he's like, yeah, I need a fix and flip. I want it. So it was right off the bat. It was all just fell in line. It was perfect.
Isn't it amazing how a community has the ability to do that?
Yeah. It does. It really surprised me. But I mean, the beginning started perfect, but then it went haywire. So after that, so.
Nice. So with respect to the boutique hotel, tell me a little bit about that deal. How did you guys structure it? What was your exit strategy? You know, and then what did each partner do? What did you guys bring to the table?
I can talk to that. So Alexa found the hotel. It was a hotel. It's been a hotel for many, many years. I think 1968, I believe, or something like that. However, with COVID, it never reopened. So we acquired it, seller financing, and knew it was going to need some work. She partnered with RIA to help bring it along. And RIA met with Mergum at a meetup somewhere, sub 2 meetup in Chicago. And he was talking about hospitality. And then the 3 of them reached out to me. RIA was aware that I had some money that I was looking to invest. I hadn't really done my first real deal and was pretty eager to do that. And so she showed me some of the numbers, introduced me to these guys, with my experience in hospitality and I have a knack for design. We all kind of pulled together and came up with a vision for the property and how to bring it to market, renovate it and bring it to market. But we knew we had to raise some money. So we established it was going to be, originally 1.8 million. I think we were looking to do until we figured out that we could actually expand the number of rooms in the hotel, increase the raise to 2.3, and decided to start a syndication and bring in a number of investors so we could involve a larger portion of the sub 2 community and any other investors that were interested. So
Nice. And how much did you raise versus how much the seller was willing to carry?
So the purchase price of the hotel was 1.25 million, and our down payment to the seller was 350, and he's carrying the remainder 900,000.
Gotcha.
Interest only payments for the first 3 years to help us really generate cash flow right away. And there's a balloon payment at 7 years. So our plan is raise the capital, renovate, get it running, stabilize it, and really get it humming along, and then sell it in 5 years.
Nice. That's a great strategy. And I know Ria's, that's her main focus, right? Is hospitality properties, boutique hotels, stuff like that. That's what she's focusing on, right?
Yeah, she's extremely savvy in raising capital, so that's a big thing. She's starting a fund, and looking forward to getting a lot of people involved in the real estate deals. Multifamily and boutique hotels are sort of her specialty, but she also runs a land business with Alexa and another sub 2 member.
Nice.
I
just started raising capital over the last couple of months, and it's really rewarding, and it lets you build some really amazing connections with investors. I've been really enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a quick question.
Shoot.
How many units does the hotel have?
So when it was purchased, it was a 14-room property with a innkeeper suite, and we've converted it into a 20-room property.
Okay.
Nice. I like that. So you guys were talking about that the communities be involved. So you've had other sub 2 students involved. Was there any Gator students involved? Any TCs involved? Anybody else in the community you guys utilized?
Well, one of our LPs is actually Pace. So that's a win for sure.
You got the guy's name on the community. That makes sense.
Exactly. That's pretty amazing. But we have Alexa. Mine are more family and friends.
Yeah, mine's friends too.
Okay.
I say the same with. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of family and friends.
Family and friends.
We did have a lot of people reach out and inquire about it from sub 2, and everybody was interested. So it was really cool to explain the deal and go through the whole deal with everybody in the community. We did that at Squad Up, and a bunch of things like that.
However, we do have an opportunity. We have about 40,000 left to raise. And so if there is anyone out there in the community, we need accredited investors. If you have a question on that, we're happy to help explain it. But we're looking for one more person to fill that.
What's the minimum buy-in?
Well, it was 75, but we had one person who came in and reduced their investment by a little. So it's sort of like a partial investment.
Okay. I'm just putting it out there because a lot of people will hear this and reach out to you. So
yeah.
Okay, great. Then
Give us a ring.
they should get in contact with you. And that's why it's important you guys have your IGs on there, right? Because they can reach out to you and you guys can answer questions. That's great.
Yep.
Would y'all be interested in another one in Canyon Lake, Texas? There's a little 8-unit hotel for sale for 1.2 with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a house attached to it. It's on Canyon Lake.
Absolutely. Please send it our way.
All right. I was trying to buy it, and I'm having it underwritten right now. So.
Oh, cool.
So,
Yeah.
What are the creative terms on that, Todd?
Not sure. He's just open to creative. Haven't talked to him about it yet, but he just said he was open if we can get to his number. I'm waiting for the underwriting to come back to see what kind of offer I can make him. The underwriter did the 8-unit hotel, but he didn't include the house. So he's having to go back and do the house because it's got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that the owners live in right now. The owners own it and have run it for the last 20 years. So
That's right up our alley.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll get you. I will definitely send you the information over and the realtor because I have talked to her too. So they're both there. I haven't done any terms. I haven't given them an offer or anything. So
awesome.
Well, there you go. Making deals happen. I love it. So Todd, on your deal, I know you used some sub 2 folks. Did you use anybody else in the community? Gator, TCs, anybody else?
Yes, Chai was a private money lender. Chai, I can't pronounce the last. He's a big prominent in sub 2, but he's a private money lender for Michael that to buy the deal. And then Michael ended up he didn't do the fix and flip. He ended up selling it on the MLS and made $67,000 without having to put a penny in it.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like 3 people made money on this deal: you, the lender, and the person you wholesaled it to. That's awesome.
Yeah, it all worked out really good. So
let me ask you this, Todd. With this deal under your belt, how would you say the community? How would you say sub 2 impacted your life?
Man, it's tremendous. I can't even put that into words. It's been a tremendous thing because just starting out, I didn't believe in it to start. And then I had to see somebody actually doing it. And then once I did that, okay, I know it will work and I know I have to put the effort in. So it takes my action. And I've been struggling, but like I said, I had fear with real estate. I don't know why. It has always been a big fear. I stayed away from it. I just thought it was too big, too out of my hands. I don't know where I developed that from, but I don't know. I just stayed away and getting involved and now having my first deal. It took a while to get the first deal, but still I have absolutely no experience in this. I came in just blind and dumb, and I'm starting from scratch. And then when I started, I thought I had to do everything Pace said and all his Zooms, and I was so I mean it's been a tremendous learning experience. It's changed my life a lot. It's turning things around. I got a podcast, I'm meeting awesome people in this community every day, and I can't say enough that this community is amazing, and I push it and tell people about it every day.
And I think you hit on a powerful point that I think should not go unmissed, and that is the belief in yourself. So, Pace gives us all this information, but you got to believe in yourself and do the heavy lifting, and then things start to happen. So that's
right. Really- and then I can't say enough about the people in the community willing to help. I mean, because if it wasn't with these people that came, Michael and Chai coming into the deal, and everybody else I've talked to. I mean, I talked to a lot of people here in Houston. There's a Power Hour group, so I'm talking to people all the time, asking them questions. Shooting them stuff. Could this be a deal? Could this be a deal? Because for a while, I didn't know what a deal looked like, and I was really having a hard time with that.
Yeah, and that's part of the learning curve, right? And sometimes I get clients as a TC clients that come to me and they say, "Is this a good deal?" And I go, "Well, it depends, right? I don't know what your risk factor is. I don't know what your business plan is. So what might be a good deal for you might not be for me, and vice versa." So you're right. Understanding your buy box and what you consider a deal. Once you discover that, then it opens up a lot more doors.
Right.
I like that. Bergen, what about you? How's sub 2 impacted your life?
It's been great. In terms of for me, the most valuable thing, I kind of made a mission for myself to when I came in is to really engage with as many people as possible in the first 3 months. Just meeting people, but. Yeah, I think just the people and the mindset that you get from the community is great. I met my private money lender on another deal. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to the Dominican Republic to build this tiny home community. Do you want to come with?" Right? And it's just those things. It's like one thing leads to another, and I've found that rabbit hole is amazing in this community because a person who ends up being your general contractor ends up being your, partner in a deal, or your private money lender is a JV, or there's just everybody wears a lot of hats, which is fantastic, which is suited because I'm kind of one of these people that likes to do a lot of different things. So I don't just want to be a private money lender, right? So when I was going through the Avatar series, I'm like, I'm all of these a little bit, right? But that being said, you have to pick a niche, right? I think the community is just full of really multifaceted, very entrepreneurial people, which is exactly what I came here for. So,
yeah, you nailed that one. Alexa, what about you? How has sub 2 impacted your life?
Yeah, so I would say honestly, it's partnerships. Before I joined Sub 2, I had never partnered with anybody. I was just me doing it all myself, and it made me realize that you really can't scale as quick as you should. And the other thing too is I would not be able to do all of the things that I'm doing now if I wasn't partnered with people. It's just not possible, unless, I mean, if you had your own team behind you, maybe it would be, but you're still the main person. So it's opened my eyes to that. And then honestly, just like any question that you have, you can find the answer within 10 minutes. If you just post something on the Facebook group, if if nobody can answer you, then someone will get the answer for you. Right. So I think that's what sets this community apart from any other community. And I have, so many contacts on my phone from Sub 2 that a lot of times I don't even have to go to Facebook because I just know on my phone who to text or who to call just to get a simple question answered. And I don't think that you can find that in any other community.
Yeah. You make a good point. One of the things I've learned in multifamilies, some people believe it's multifamily because it's multiple doors. But for me, I believe it's multifamily because it takes multiple people to make it work. So, yeah, that's very powerful. Getting people to work with you. That's awesome. Julie, what about you? How has Sub 2 impacted your life?
Well, I guess first off, the crash course in real estate and all of the different facets. Like, I don't think there would be the possibility to learn as much as I learned in such a short amount of time in any other group. I just can't imagine. So all of the Zooms, like I was consuming a lot of information all day long in the car, just listening all the time at the gym, whenever I could. That was fabulous. But that paired with then seeing people apply that knowledge was so inspiring. Like, you can give me, I can study and learn and figure out how to do things. But until I see other people doing them and how it works exactly, I'm not as comfortable trying it myself. So that really gave me a lot of confidence to go out and do it. There's a lot of accountability that comes with it as well. So, I mean, those are things that really were helpful for me, but also just making connections, talking to different people. There's so many friends that I've made now that I just can't wait to do something with them, and we're all just like looking for the next best thing. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, it definitely allows you to hit fast forward on your learning, both with things that work and things that don't work, because people do share that. And you're right. It's nice to have a community where you have, and I can say this from my own experience. I've got so many numbers on my phone that I can call, and before I finish my statement, somebody says, how can I help? Mm-hmm. And that's huge. So yes, very, very good point. So Todd, what's on deck for you next? What are you going to do after this?
My goal is to get 10 wholesale deals and then move on from there. I'm not sure I want to be a single family landlord. That's not one thing. I've looked more at multifamily. So I'm still determining my course. Businesses sounded good. Pace did all this stuff. When I joined last year, he started Project Forward, then he started this Zero Down, then he started all these other things. And it was like, oh man, I'm trying to, so I got really distracted and I'm trying to get back on track. Right now, my main focus for the next, until I get 10 wholesale deals, that's what I'm focused on, 10 wholesale deals, just to go. Because the other thing is I want to get out of my day job. I'm still, I have a W-2.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Nice. Julie, what's on deck for you? What are you going to do next?
Well, we are really looking at this hotel as a test run. We are looking for other boutique hotels, all the way up to 100-unit properties, and we'd like to create a collection.
Yeah.
That's part of it, and also looking at multifamily. So very interested in. I prefer the GP side over the LP side. So I like to be actively involved, looking for partners who are also looking for multifamily. So.
I like that. And you're about to take off, right? Because you've got that credibility now. You've closed on a hotel. You're working on the flip. You're turning it into a revenue generator, and for brokers, for sellers, for investors, that becomes huge. All you've got to do is get that one transaction under your belt, and then you got that credibility, and then people just start throwing deals at you. It's awesome. So I'm actually excited for what's about to come down the pipeline for you guys.
Totally, me too.
Alexa, what about you? What's next on deck?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as Julie said. We're always looking for another hotel deal. And then ideally, large multifamily, 100 units plus. I really think it would be cool if I could find a piece of land in, re-Melanize land business and take that land and develop, 100 units or more. I think that would be cool because you're combining the two businesses with multiple partners that you're already trusting. We could bring in the hotel. There's so many ways to slice and dice it. But yeah, definitely the bigger deals. And I'm strongly considering selling my entire portfolio and just going for big stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been doing the same thing. I've been slowly selling off my single family stuff because multifamily is just too enticing.
Yeah.
So, Bergam, how about you? What's on deck for you, my friends?
Yeah, I think similar ambitions. I have a dozen short-term rentals that I'll probably slowly start selling off over the next few years, subject to. So if anybody out there is looking for Smoky Mountains or Joshua Tree, hit me up. Yeah. So, for me, I like hotels for a lot of reasons. There's very few real estate assets where you can triple the valuations by doing a couple things, right? It's not easy, right? It's not like it is. You're buying a business, so but you can't take a multifamily and triple the rents. It just doesn't work that way. So with hotels, you could literally triple your nightly rate by doing things a specific way. And selfishly, I kind of like the ability to go to places and kind of you personally benefit from going to visit these hotels. So I want to continue buying, and Julie is kind of on the same page. We want to continue buying in places where we wouldn't mind spending a month or two if we had to, right? So being a little selfish with my personal goals and using real estate and hotels as a means to achieve my wealth building goals, I think it's just a really good marriage of work-life balance to continue focusing on this asset class and just kind of being a niche, focusing primarily on it. And I think multifamilies are great to park your money, and that's like everyone's going to retire with a 100-unit building, right? That's the end goal. Or donate it to a charity or whatever Pace does with his 100-unit buildings. But yeah, that's my ambition. So I think I found a great team with the gals here, and looking forward to kind of like nurturing this relationship to grow.
Yeah, my partner, she's a top tier certified underwriter, and she found the sweet spot. She says if you can get 70-unit property, that's going to make enough money that it'll cover all of the asset management, property management, and still cash flow so that you can make money off of it without having to be physically involved. So 70 units and up is the sweet spot. So that's kind of what our target is. So I like that. Nice. I do like what you're talking about on how you can, triple your investment because of the fact that you've got more flexibility in the boutique hotel than you can an apartment complex. And that's the same reason why I like RV parks, right? Because you can have daily rates, you can have weekly rates, and you can have monthly rates. And then, of course, you can also have seasonal rates. So there's quite a bit of mixture. So you can take a pad that's maybe $500 a month, and it's now $1,600 a month because of dynamic pricing. So very, very good point. I like that. So, Bergam, on that note, what would you say to someone who was on the fence about joining the community?
I'd say if you're serious about real estate investing and just being around other like-minded people, right? Like I would say that it's an investment in yourself. But if you're not ready or if you're on the fence, it is what you put into it, right? So your return on investment is exactly attributable to how much time you put into networking and meeting people, right? So if you're not ready to really make that leap, then it's not the best community because it's overwhelming. It's a lot of information, but if you're not ready to consume that information, then you shouldn't do it because then you're just going to say, oh well, I've seen posts on Facebook like, I haven't got my first deal. And then if you dig a little deeper, you'll see that they didn't follow the, the guidelines and rules of like, meet 50 people, go out and shake their hands. It's like, it's not going to be easy, but it is a place, it's a community where when you invest the time and effort, you will get a return on investment. Absolutely. Like guaranteed.
Yeah, I like that too, because you're right, it's not easy. There will be times that it can be easy, and that's okay. But for the most part, if you're not willing to do the heavy lifting, then yeah, you're not going to get the return on investment that you're going to get.
Yeah, for sure.
Alexa, what about you? What would you say to someone who's on the fence?
If somebody's on the fence, I would honestly say I think you're in a fear-based mindset. I think that it's overwhelming with the amount of information that will be thrown at you, but if you stick to it, you will succeed. Anybody that I know that has actually gone through the program from start to finish, they do deals. So it's all about how you structure your time, and there's no time limit to it. It's self-paced, so you can, do what you need to do, but you need to do all of it and thoroughly too. You can't skip anything because then you're going to be backtracked to the next thing, or you'll miss something and things like that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, Ashley in the chat said it best. It's all about the right mindset. And if somebody hasn't closed a deal yet, they either haven't finished taking the course or they haven't found that mindset to make it click yet. So it's a great point. Julie, what about you? What would you say to someone who's on the fence?
Yeah, so for me, I would just say, just do it. It's really not that much of an investment to join the group. Mm-hmm. And you can find your inspiration in so many different ways. For me, I joined in November, and I really felt a lot of pressure to get my first deal and do my first deal. And there were so many things coming across my plate, and I had done, I had like crash course, consumed everything I could as quickly as I could, but something was holding me back. And it was just that I wasn't finding really my niche. And the thing about the group is there's places for everyone, and you're not, it's not a straight line. Action is not the same for everyone. It can be something as little as just, putting a post out, or taking a phone call, or making a phone call, or, reaching out to someone in the group. Something as tiny as that is all you really have to do. There is a recipe for extreme and quick success for sure, but you don't really have to do it that way. And if you're tentative, just listen, sit in the room and listen and observe and watch other people do it. And you're going to start to see people that look just like you doing it. And it helps build confidence to go out and take action yourself, or to make a friend who you can take action with,
I like that. I call that borrowed confidence, right? So if I know someone like you, Julie, who's been, and the three of you has been successful in boutique hotels, I go, okay, these are people that are doing it. Therefore, if they can do it, then I can do it. I just have to give it a try and decide I'm going to put the energy into learning how to do it. And so I call that borrowed confidence, because if you can do it once, you can do it again. So that's very powerful. That's where community comes in. And you said another thing I thought that was very important was sitting down and talking to people, getting on Zooms, getting on calls, going to meetups. And then the best way you can thank them is by taking action from the stuff that they gave you. So that's huge. I like that.
Yeah. And I think like Pace's mindset of just constantly giving is really perpetuated throughout the community. And it's such a great way. There was a comment I read once on Facebook. She's like, I maxed out my credit cards. I'm just about to give up. And literally within an hour, there's 100 comments saying, well, call me immediately. Let me help you. Right. So there's so much support and people just giving, everything to help other people. Like you really have such an amazing support community here where, if everyone's going to fail, everyone's going to, we all make mistakes and we all sometimes hit rock bottom. Right. But it's how you come up and the people you surround yourself with that is like so incredible here. It's like all you need to do is just ask for help, and it's there, you know.
And there's a reason why everything PACE does is around community, whether it's a day with PACE, whether it's Squad Up, whether it's community camp, it's always with groups of people, and that's by design. So if we haven't picked that up already, I don't know what else we could do.
Exactly.
Exactly. Clear that in order to be successful, we got to do this together. So Todd, how about you? What would you say with somebody on the fence? Because you're actually a really great example because you were on the fence and you didn't believe it.
Yeah, I was. And I would say, don't hesitate. Yeah, you're going to be overwhelmed with information. You're going to have to take action. And I would only tell them, don't do it if you don't plan to take action. If you don't plan to stay consistent with your action, because then you won't get anything out of it. But again, you know, Mergim hit it on the spot, though. The community, even if you don't take the action, you know, there's still a whole community of people behind you, you know, that will still help you and still answer your questions. There are people in here that aren't taking the full action and are still getting some of the benefits. So, you know, it's the community does help each other out. And the thing is the community members help motivate the other members. I mean, I go to these power hours here in Houston because it's not just for the event, it's just for the recharge. I mean, I get a recharge from these people. Sorry, it's just the people in the community are great. In my life before the community, I didn't have the best of friends. I didn't make the best of decisions. And at one point in time, I ditched all my friends and I just became a hermit. Because it's like the people I hang around are not getting me anywhere and they're not going anywhere. And I just don't care for this anymore. You know, so at one point I changed everything and I became a hermit. And then now, so I'm opening back up in this community. So this was a big, this was a great place for me to land.
You make a great point. One of my mentors once told me, it says, when you decide to make a change in your life, there will be carnage. What that means is people put you in their life based on where they are today. And if you start changing and they don't understand that change, you start to separate, right? And so that's kind of what you did, right? You said, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be here now. And so you had to make that change. But here's the cool thing is once you made that decision, a door opened and the people that you needed in your life started stepping in, like this community, because that's where you're at now.
Absolutely. And these people are I mean, they're just the positive, the mindset, all that comes into play with the people in the community. They'll help you with the mindset. They'll help you with anything you need. They'll help you find resources for private money. They'll guide you through a deal if you ask them. So the community, again, is just phenomenal. That's the biggest thing. I don't really even care about what I learned so far. It's the community has been there. It's just a phenomenal community. I have never come across anything like it.
Yeah, some of the most successful people I've ever met have been able to capitalize on two things. One, the ability to ask for help, and two, the ability to take that help. Mm-hmm. Once you get those two things down, it shouldn't be anything stopping you.
All right.
So with that said, you're trying to get 10 wholesale deals, you know, here between now and the end of the year. How can people connect with you?
My Instagram's right there. I got a podcast for action takers only. You can find it on YouTube and Spotify. My Facebook, Todd Kirchhoff, Facebook, all that. So my email is toddk@realsoul.net. That's my business is realsoul.net. I call it Real Soul Acquisitions. So that's how they can find me.
Perfect. Mergim, what about you? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, Investor Mergim on all the socials. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. It's the same one because I have a very unique name. And, so you can find me pretty much at any social with that name.
Perfect. I love it. Alexa, what about you? How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, same with me. So mine's pretty much the same across the board. My Instagram is Alexa Dealy _real estate. My email is alexa@homeswithalexa.com. And then my Facebook is just my name, Alexa Dealy.
Awesome. And you said you're doing land and hotels?
Land, hotels, and flipping.
Flipping. Perfect. Okay. Julie, what about you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, if you want to send me information on hotels, email me, julie@reddoorinvestments.net. Otherwise, Instagram's great. Reach out. I we can connect that way. Facebook as well. Facebook's Julie Parsons Carani. I actually have two also Julie Carani. So either way, I answered them both. Yes, I'm still trying to figure out. If anyone knows how to combine the two, just please reach out.
So I got a question. Who do I send the Canyon Lake hotel information to?
You can send it to me.
All right.
Julie, yeah,
All right.
at reddoorinvestments.net.
You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you for stretching my hosting capability. This is the first time I've hosted multiple transactions, and it was a lot of fun.
Jason, you're awesome.
Great.
Awesome, Jason. Cool deal.
You're awesome.
Great work, Jason.
Thanks. It was fun.
Great time. Very good, Jason. You guys had a good time?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Good, good, good. I have the awesome privilege of actually watching your previous interviews and breaking things down. I have 1,000 questions. I'm not going to ask one of them because Jason's already done that. But you all are rock stars to me. I'm not just shooting smoke. I really, truly think you guys are rock stars and superheroes in this community. And I always say this, that I was a non-believer. I was kind of like Todd and Pace. Of course, my employer is like, guys, talking to his team, until you're around the community, you really won't get it. Okay. When you get around the community, then you will start to understand why I lose sleep and I love it. And I'm like, what is this talking about? Truly. And I went to Squad Up Summit, and I must say it was a life changer for me. It truly was. It was amazing. Now, I don't have any questions other than, were all of you at Squad Up, or some of you, or
Yes,
you were all
We
at
all
Squad
were.
Up? Okay.
we were there.
I wanted to go. No.
Okay. Yeah.
I had another commitment, but I'm definitely going to hit the next one.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be I'm a big Pace. Please, can I go to the next one, please? So many wonderful people. It was great.
Here,
And-
try and stop you. I dare it.
I know. Were any of you nervous during this live? Not nervous at all? No? You were
Well,
nervous, Todd? Todd? a
Well,
little
I can always get nervous for him, but I can brush it off.
bit? Yeah, good. I'm always nervous. It's just a superpower of mine. If I'm nervous, I'm humble. It keeps
Right?
me humble. It keeps me humble. Yes, it's a good thing.
I believe that.
Yeah, so thank you guys again for being on here. And for those who are in the chat watching, there was a lot of us earlier, but please send your emails to taya@pacemarby.com. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat here. Please send the email to taya@pacemarby.com. We would love for other superheroes in the community to come on and answer questions about their deals, the good, the bad, the ugly. We want all of it. Interestingly enough, there are adults, as we are all adults, who are really afraid of asking certain questions, or there are questions they don't know how to ask. And so when you guys come on here and you answer all these questions, you talk about your deals, then you give your IG and people can connect. That's what this is all about. So again, if you want to be on here, please send the emails over to taya@pacemarby.com. We would love to interview you and have you on. You guys are rock stars. It's been a blessing.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, thank you.
Thank y'all.